Welcome to the 2024-2025 Mandatory Athletic Meeting. My name is Peggy Brown, and I'm the Athletic Director at DSHA. This fall marks my 37th year as Athletic Director at DSHA, and I'm very excited for the upcoming athletic seasons. I'm very proud of the athletic program and know that if everyone pulls in the same direction and is supportive of coaches and student athletes, great things will happen. Our goal is always to win, but our purpose is so much more important than that. We are looking to develop your daughters into resilient young women of character who are great teammates and form relationships that will last a lifetime. Student athletes, always remember, great teams have great teammates, and success is a choice. So choose to do the things you need to that will lead to success. I challenge each of you, both student athletes and parents, to support each other, treat each other with respect, and be kind to each other this year. I wish you great success during the upcoming athletic seasons. If you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. Before we begin, I would ask Danny Reamer, President of the Student Athletic Advisory Council, to begin the meeting with prayer. Danny?
Please pray with me. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father in heaven, we ask for your blessing on games that we play. Give each one of us the courage to play the game in a manner which by our words and our actions is pleasing to you. Let us enter into competition in a spirit of sportsmanship and with respect for members of the opposing team. Let us play well but fairly. Help us to learn something that matters once the game is over. Let competition make us strong but never hostile. Always let us help our opponents up. Never catch us rejoicing in the adversity of others. If we know victory, allow us to be happy. If denied, keep us from envy. Remind us that sports are just games. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thanks, Danny. I would now like to introduce Brian Brzezinski, President of the Parents Athletic Association, to say a few words about the PAA and our only fundraiser of the year, which is our annual golf outing, which will take place on September 6th. Brian?
Hello, my name is Brian Brzezinski, and I am the proud parent of alumni Emily Brzezinski from the class of 2023 and rising junior Margaret Brzezinski. I am the 2024-25 Parent Athletic Association President. I would like to extend my welcome to all of you, especially to our first-time families who are new to our DSHA community. I just want to take a few minutes to update you on the DSHA Parent Athletic Association, also known as the PAA. But before I do, I would like to take a moment to thank Peggy, our athletic director, for her hard work and support of all of our athletic teams. The DSHA athletic program is highly respected throughout the state of Wisconsin, and this is a direct reflection of Peggy's efforts and years of experience. Our athletic teams consistently achieve a high level of success, which can be seen in our numerous state championships, national championships, state participants, sectional finalists, and conference championships. Now, I would like to talk about the PAA. The PAA is a school's booster club and as such provides funds for all student athletes who participate on all of our DSHA athletic teams. Annually, approximately 65% of the student body participates in at least one sport. The PAA is a board made up of parents of athletes representing each sport. With your assistance, we raise money and in turn provide funding to support our teams beyond the school budget. Some recent examples include, number one, a large donation to the next phase of the building project, which include a new softball field and athletic field to help upgrade our outdoor facilities in the back of the school. Two, funds to support our athletic trainer and our strength and conditioning coach, which are available to all DSHA students. Three, we purchase team equipment, warm-ups, and other items for our teams as needed and requested by the coaches. Four, We support coaches' professional development through the NFHS. DSHA is one of the only schools in the state of Wisconsin to have over 90% of paid coaches on staff become Level 3 certified. In addition, the PAA provides coaches funds to attend clinics and sponsors our yearly leadership summit for athletes and coaches. 5. We also provide a thank you gift to all coaches at the end of the school year, as well as support and recognition for years of service and coaching milestones. The PAA has two main ways of generating funds to support our athletic programs. First, we encourage every family to become a member of the PAA. The one-time annual cost is $25 per family, and the funds go directly to support our student athletes. For the upcoming school year, we are looking for 100% membership from our families. You should have received a link to join the PAA with the registration information, or it is on the athletic website. The PAA only has one major fundraiser per year, which is our annual golf outing and social. We do not ask athletes to sell things to help raise money. We simply ask that everyone help support the golf outing. If you are a golfer, we ask that you get a foursome together. If you aren't a golfer, we ask that you attend the dinner and auction part of the event. We also ask for teams to sponsor a hole and that you help contribute to that combined effort with all the teams you are involved in. All of the money raised at the golf outing supports the athletic program. This year's golf outing will be held at the University Club, formerly the III Country Club, on Friday, September 6th, 2024. Details are available on the DSHA website. The golf outing is limited to the first 144 players to register. We come close to selling out, so please sign up soon. The outing is a scramble format, so the emphasis is on having fun while raising money for the PAA and student athletes. You can sign up as a group or as an individual. For the non-golfers, we encourage you to attend dinner following golf. The social is a great way to visit with coaches, meet new families, and catch up with old friends. This evening also features a silent and voice auction with great items for bid. So how can you help support the PAA golf outing? There are several ways. You can play golf and or come to dinner. You can commit to join the golf outing planning committee. You can volunteer to help during the outing, as we need many volunteers to help run the outing. You can donate to your daughter's team hole sponsorship. Each team will sponsor a hole, and your PAA sport liaison will reach out to you with specific information on this. The team that raises the most money for their hole sponsorship will receive an out-of-uniform pass. You can sign up for one of the many sponsorship opportunities. If you or your business would like to help underwrite the event, there are multiple sponsorship levels available. Sponsorships are a real key to the success for this fundraiser. There are links on the website if you would like to donate. Lastly, we are always looking for great auction items, whether that be experiences, sports, or concert tickets, or golf-related items. In conclusion, please become a member of the PAA and support our golf outing. Thank you for your time and continued support. Best of luck to all of your daughters for the upcoming year. Go Dashers!
Thanks, Brian. Once again this year, we're going to turn our focus to good sportsmanship. Danny Reamer, President of the Student Athletic Advisory Council, is going to share some thoughts on sportsmanship. Danny?
Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Daniela Reamer, and I am the President of the Student Athletic Advisory Council. Today, I would like to briefly reiterate the importance of appropriate fan and athlete behavior at all DSHA sporting events. Good sportsmanship is a defining feature of the DSHA athletic department and a characteristic we hope all athletes and representatives of our school are always striving to maintain. To the athletes, sports can be hard. We may not always like the call the referee makes, and we certainly all enjoy winning. However, please always remember to maintain the highest level of respect for your teammates and coaches, the opposing team and their coaches, and the officials. Poor sportsmanship not only reflects on your own character, but also that of your team and our school. Continue to display a positive image of DSHA both on and off the field, for sportsmanship is a huge aspect of every sport that never takes a day off. To the parents, your behavior at sporting events affects your daughter and her teammates more than you would think. Over 50% of DSHA students surveyed admitted that negative behavior of their parents or their teammates' parents had impaired their performance during games or competitions. Parents, please remember that, first and foremost, this is just a game, and second, that the girls play to have fun and to improve upon their skills. Inappropriate behavior by parents hinders progression and takes enjoyment away from the sport. Make sure to always keep in mind your role and the boundaries associated with being a spectator. At sporting events, there are 4 different roles each person can have: coach, player, official, spectator. But you cannot fulfill more than one of these roles at one time. Honor your role and allow others to fully meet their responsibilities as well. What sportsmanship ultimately comes down to is being respectful. For both parents and students, sportsmanship means respecting others, respecting your role as a representative of DSHA, and most importantly, it means having respect for the game. When you walk onto that field, step foot onto that court, dive into that pool, tee off on that first hole, or in the case of parents, sit down in those bleachers, always make sure that whatever happens, you will walk away knowing that you made your team, DSHA as a whole, and most importantly, yourself or your daughter, extremely proud. Please help us to work to maintain a positive atmosphere at all DSHA sporting events. We look forward to another amazing and successful year of athletics. Thank you.
Welcome to the PowerPoint portion of the mandatory athletic meeting. In this presentation, I will highlight some of the important athletic policies and procedures you will need to know. Following this presentation, you will be asked to read through the entire athletic policies and procedure booklet to gain a deeper knowledge and understanding of this information. The first thing we'll talk about is the mission, vision, and core values, which is listed in the policy and procedure booklet. The mission and vision align closely with the mission and vision of DSHA. And in particular, the core values in the athletic department include academic success, athletic excellence, teamwork, leadership, service, and sportsmanship. And those are the things we're working on with our various teams. And by participating in athletics, we're hoping that these are the values that you'll be gaining. Next, we'll talk about the philosophy of athletics. The athletic program exists to support and advance the overall mission of DSHA, which is to develop the whole person. We believe that making a team is an honor that an athlete earns with hard work and dedication, as well as the development and refinement of her God-given talents. At the varsity level, one of the main goals of the varsity team is to be as competitive as possible. So in most game situations, not all players will have the opportunity to play. In contrast, the JV and freshman levels are more developmental in nature, and coaches are going to make a greater effort to promote participation in games by all team members. One thing that you need to keep in mind is that playing time at the high school level is never equal among players each game. But freshmen and JV coaches are going to make an effort to make sure that everybody gets into every game. The starting dates and tryout dates are listed in the athletic policies and procedure booklet for you to take a look at. For those sports that do have cuts or tryouts, they generally last 3 to 5 days, and you are expected to be at all tryout dates. Another thing to remember is that all cuts from athletic teams are final. You can certainly ask the coach for an explanation of skills that need to be improved, but there is no appeal process. So that's important to keep in mind. When you become an athlete at DSHA, there's certain responsibilities that you will need to have. And we believe that participating in athletics is a privilege, not a right. So the first responsibility you have is to your school. You need to participate for your athletic team to the best of your ability and to be a good role model. You assume a leadership role when you're on an athletic team, so please make good choices at all times. A second responsibility is to yourself, to grow as a person of character. As a student athlete, you have a choice every day regarding the attitude you'll embrace for that day. Please choose wisely and get the most out of your high school athletic experience. Do everything you can to be physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy. And a third responsibility is to your academics. Academic success must always come first. Make sure you are doing what it takes to be the best student you can be. Not only are there responsibilities for the athletes, but there are also responsibilities for parent and guardians. And the first is to be positive with your daughter. Let her know that she is accomplishing something simply by being part of the team, and that every role on the team is important and contributes to the team's success. Encourage your daughter to work hard to reach her potential and contribute to the team's efforts. Third, be supportive of the coach rather than critical. If you criticize the coach in front of your daughter, she has a difficult choice to make between her loyalty to you and her loyalty to the team and her coach. This can only negatively affect her ability to do her best. Next, cheer in a positive manner for all team members. Everyone is really trying to do their best. And last, please emphasize being a good sport with your daughter. Win or lose, you and your daughter must show respect to the opponents, officials, and in addition to teammates and coaches. Next, I just wanted to touch on hazing. And first of all, I need you to know that DSHA does not condone hazing in any way, shape, or form. Please contact a coach or athletic director immediately if you feel like hazing is taking place on your team. Social media. It is an expectation of all athletes to refrain from using all forms of social media to negatively represent oneself as a spokesperson for DSHA and the sport she represents. At no time should an athlete demean or threaten DSHA representatives, coaches, teammates, officials, or the opposing team. Such behavior may be cause for disciplinary action on the part of the school. Next is transportation. DSHA does not provide transportation to athletic contests or practices within the Milwaukee metropolitan area. We ask that parents help provide transportation for their daughters or help arrange for transportation of their daughters to these events. Parents are responsible for knowing how their daughter is being transported to and from athletic events and who is driving. DSHA will provide bus or van transportation to any contest 1 hour or more travel time away from DSHA, or any destination that the athletic director and coach feels we need to provide transportation, or not provide transportation if the athletic director and coach do not feel it's necessary. DSHA does comply with our insurance policy that prohibits the use of 15-passenger vans. We will only use 10-passenger vans or fewer. Please note that when DSHA does provide bus or van transportation, we are responsible for your daughter. Thus, a bus or van is provided for a team. Every member of the team must take the bus to the athletic contest and then back to DSHA after the contest. No exception will be granted unless there's an extreme emergency, which is talked about prior to leaving for a trip. We strongly suggest that you, as parents, know who is driving your daughter, and we encourage parents to drive rather than students. Next, it's important for all student athletes to have adequate health insurance coverage in case of accident or injury. No cost of medical conveyance or treatment will be borne by DSHA or any of its employees or representatives. The key to a good athletic program is communication. The athletic department at DSHA places great emphasis on communication between coaches, athletes, and parents. If questions or problems occur, it's important to discuss them as soon as they happen so misunderstandings and hurt feelings do not occur. The proper order of which to discuss problems or concerns is as follows. First, bring your concerns to the coach. Your daughter should be encouraged to sit down and discuss any problems with the coach. This is a skill we need to encourage our athletes to acquire. Secondly, if your daughter is still not satisfied, a meeting with the coach, parents, and athletes should be scheduled. If you feel the problem still exists after a meeting with the coach, a meeting with the athletic director, coach, parents, and athletes will be held. If the problem still has not been resolved, or at the discretion of the athletic director, a meeting with the principal, athletic director, coach, parents, and athletes will be held. Please know that we feel most problems can be solved by meeting with the coach. You should always feel free to discuss with your daughter's coach any concerns or questions you may have. It is, however, appropriate to set up a meeting with the coach to discuss your concerns in a private setting. It is never appropriate to approach a coach during practice, immediately before a game, or immediately after a game. This is the time the coach needs to concentrate on coaching. Issues that are inappropriate for a parent to discuss with a coach include playing time, team strategy, play calling, or other student athletes. If for some reason you're unable to contact your daughter's coach to set up a meeting, please contact the athletic director. Next, we'll talk about uniforms. DSHA does provide all basic uniforms for the athletic teams. The uniforms, warm-up jackets are only to be worn for games, not around school or on the weekends. Please wash and return all pieces of your uniform, warm-ups, jackets, everything according to the instructions, and return them within 5 days of the end of your season. Team travel. A lot of teams do some extra travel outside of the normal conference schedule, and we need you to be aware that fees may be charged for team travel during the season, in addition to the participation fee charged for each team. In the case where athletic travel is subsidized by parents, all tuition fees and other financial obligations to DSHA must be current in order for the student to participate in athletic travel. Our athletic trainer at DSHA is Annie Oliveras from Froedtert Medical. Her training hours are Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., and she's also in the training room on Mondays and Fridays from 11 to 1, which is during lunch. We strongly encourage everyone to get a baseline concussion testing, and you can schedule that with Annie. And every athlete should have a baseline concussion test on file, and she will let you know when those are available to schedule. Next, we'll talk about strength and conditioning. DSHA does provide 2 strength and conditioning coaches. They are Coach Calhoun and Coach McKeever, and they will work with student athletes in season and out of season. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 3 to 6, and there is generally a schedule posted on the door. And we really encourage the girls to take advantage of using the fitness center to help them in their training. Next, we'll talk about dual participation in athletics. What that really means is that an athlete can only be involved in one school-sponsored athletic team each season. You may not try out for an athletic team, make the team, and then quit to join another team. So you can only participate in one thing each season. Non-DSHA and club sports. We understand that student athletes frequently participate in sports outside of those offered at DSHA. However, DSHA does expect our student athletes' commitment to DSHA teams to be the student athletes' first priority should a conflict arise. Coaches must be made aware of potential conflicts well in advance, and students who choose to participate in non-school team events should expect to face some kind of consequence as decided upon by the coach if they miss a DSHA practice or game. Multi-sport athletes versus sport specialization. DSHA encourages and promotes student athletes to participate in multiple sports at DSHA. Research has suggested that athletes who participate in multiple sports lower their risk of injury from overuse. If you play more than one sport, you work more muscles, which improves balance and symmetry. Playing multiple sports helps prevent mental and emotional burnout and keeps things interesting. In addition, it allows you to work on different teams with different coaches and teammates, which help you grow as a person while representing your school. So we really encourage you to play multiple sports while you're at DSHA. National Letter of Intent Signing Days. DSHA will hold 3 signing days each year in November, April, and February. Only athletes who currently play for a DSHA team will be recognized. The student athlete must inform the athletic director at least 2 weeks prior to the signing date her intentions to sign at school. The last portion of our meeting will deal with the athletic code. Please take time to read the athletic code over carefully. It is in effect 365 days, not just during your season. Any violation should be reported immediately to the athletic director. Everything in this code is illegal for you to be doing, but we want your promise in writing that you will follow these rules. Please remember, it is a matter of honesty and integrity that you are agreeing to follow these rules because you are signing your name today saying you will. If you choose to violate the athletic code, it reflects a lack of integrity and is a reflection of your character. The athletic code is in effect 365 days a year, not just during your season. The first portion of the athletic code deals with alcohol, drugs, tobacco, and vaping. Athletes are strictly prohibited from use, possession, preparation of, sale, or distribution of alcohol, tobacco, vaping, performance-enhancing substances, or drugs, or being under the influence of alcohol, controlled substances, intoxicants, altering substances, or substances that are represented as a drug or intoxicant, as well as in possession of drug or vaping paraphernalia. The consequences for violation of the alcohol, drugs, tobacco, and vaping portion of the athletic code is the first violation is a 4-contest suspension unless the athlete or parent turns the athlete in prior to the school having knowledge of the violation. If so, it may be reduced to a 2-game suspension as well as an AODA assessment. Second violation is a 365-day suspension from the time of the violation and an AODA assessment. And the third violation is permanent suspension from the athletic program. The next portion of the athletic code deals with personal conduct and truancy. An athlete involved in misconduct, for example, vandalism, theft, insubordination, bullying, hazing, etc., shall be suspended from athletics. A student charged with or convicted of a felony shall, upon the filing of a felony charges, become ineligible for all further participation in athletics until the courts consider the sentence served. Consequences for violation of personal conduct and truancy include: first violation is a 4-contest suspension, second violation 365 days suspension from the time of violation, and third violation permanent suspension from the athletic program. The next portion of the athletic code deals with academic requirements. The minimum GPA at each grading period is a 1.67 or above, and no more than 1 failing grade and no incompletes. Fall eligibility is based on second semester of the previous year. So all incoming freshmen will be eligible this fall, and those that are returning to school, your GPA will be based on second semester of last school year. Unexcused absences. This is one portion of the athletic code we deal with pretty much on a daily basis. We check attendance every day, so we want you to be aware of that. So student athletes must be in class the entire day to compete in a contest that evening. I just want to repeat that. Student athletes have to be in school the entire school day to compete in a contest that evening. And student athletes must be at school by 10:30 to practice after school. As I said, we check attendance every day and we let coaches know when the girls don't meet those requirements. Any exception to those must be cleared with the athletic director at least the day prior to the absence. For example, if you're going to miss because you have a dentist appointment, a funeral, doctor's appointment, those things just need to be cleared the day before, and we can take care of that. Thanks for watching this video. I look forward to working with all student athletes and their parents during the upcoming athletic season. You will now move on to read some important information, followed by completing all of the required paperwork. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or concerns, and I just want you all to have a really great season.